My parents were like, whoa! Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration with Paint the Night Parade, World of Color Happiness, and Bluey's Best Day Ever. Coming soon. Save with Good Neighbor Hotel packages starting at $164 per person per night on select days through March 31st, 2026. For a party of 4 adults, including 2-day, 1-park-per-day tickets and a 3-night stay at a select Good Neighbor Hotel in a deluxe room. Total price $1,960. Visit Disneyland.com/Good Neighbor Hotels for details.
Come see us at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale.
Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the brand new 2026 Mazda CX-50.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
February 10th, 2026. It is the Tuesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. It is Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the program. A pretty big day. It is the day that everyone shows up to spring training. You're seeing those photos get tossed around social media today. We're learning a lot from the Arizona Diamondbacks today as their camp gets underway. And so that feels like the right place to start because we ended yesterday's show talking about an injury. Let's start today's program talking about that injury once again. The Arizona Diamondbacks will be without Andrew Saalfrank through the entirety of the 2026 season. And we learned today at spring training, Nick Pecoro did an excellent job of this. Justin Martinez says that he is keeping an eye on an August return date. We may need a pen and pencil for this one, producer Evan, just so we can keep track of all of this. Andrew Saalfrank out for 2026. Justin Martinez saying that he is eyeing a August return. You have AJ Puck saying that he thinks he could be good to go in May, but doesn't really anticipate the team being okay with him being ready for May. He had an internal brace rather than the full-blown Tommy John surgery. And so we said yesterday after the Andrew Saalfrank injury, who's going to close games for this baseball team? Who's going to be their closer until they get AJ Puck and Justin Martinez back? And we said, maybe July feels like the day, the month in which those guys return. Well, Justin Martinez telling you that he's going to be ready in August. That's what he's aiming for. That's his goal. His goal is an August return. So I'm ready to say it here today. Don't count on Justin Martinez for anything in 2026. Don't factor him into any of your plans in putting together the current bullpen and or the future bullpen this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bullpens evolve over the course of a season. The bullpen that you start the year with is never the bullpen that you have in June, in July, in August, in September. It is a ever-breathing, ever-changing organism. There's just things changing all over the place with a bullpen. But Justin Martinez not being available until August, in his mind, means you're going to get him well past the point of this season being written in stone. We're going to know what the 2026 Arizona Diamondbacks are well before Justin Martinez pitches for this team. So I'm not counting on him for anything. I'm not factoring him into, because you hear this a lot right now, and I'm sure you see it on social media too, producer Evan. You see this idea of, just wait until they get Corbin Burns back. Just wait until AJ Puck and Justin Martinez are back. If they can just get through to that stage of the season, and if they've got a good record, they'll get those guys back, things will be great. Justin Martinez, taking him off the table. Not going to happen. Can't factor him into any of those plans. Corbin Burns who is going to, looks like the All-Star break is what he's shooting for. You've got AJ Puck shooting for May, probably closer to June. Those guys you can count on. There's going to be enough 2+ months of both of those guys contributing, but you got to get there. And the injury yesterday to Andrew Saalfrank had me wondering, are the Diamondbacks going to respond to this? Are the Diamondbacks going to make any type of move, free agency, a late trade? Are they going to do anything to address what is a clear weakness of their team? It was a weakness last year. It is an even bigger, clearer weakness going into 2026. What are they going to do about it, if anything? The thing that worries me is I don't know if there's going to be any aggressiveness to pursue this, because the bullpen's been a problem all offseason, before or after Andrew Saalfrank's 2026 was flushed down the tubes. And there wasn't aggressiveness to go out and get somebody in free agency. There wasn't aggressiveness to get Devin Williams. There wasn't aggressiveness to get an Edwin Diaz. There wasn't aggressiveness to go out and make a trade for a reliever. There hasn't been aggressiveness all offseason long. Yeah, they added a bullpen arm in Cade Stroud via the Blaze Alexander trade. Yeah, they gave Jonathan Loaizaga a non-roster invite. I think that's a really worthwhile lottery ticket. But aggressiveness hasn't been the name of the game for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So why would it start now? Because of an injury? They were shorthanded before this, and they haven't been aggressive. I don't think now, as spring training gets underway, pitchers and catchers reporting, things about to be set in motion, I don't think the aggressiveness is all of a sudden going to come now.
Yeah, I think the biggest question is, can you actually rely on Jonathan Loaizaga? And if that works out, that's a lottery ticket that really could pay dividends for this baseball team, and now more than ever. And then on top of that, are you going to make any additions? Do I think they'll be ultra aggressive and add somebody big name? No. But could they add depth? Certainly, because they need that too. This is a bullpen that, let's face it, feels understaffed right now.
I just don't see like specific roles. Like right now, if I had to pick a closer, I think I'd pick Kevin Ginkel.
Yeah, and
he had a rough 25.
I don't know if that's the place you want to be
Right,
in.
but that's the person that I think Torrey's going to have the most confidence in.
You're probably right.
I think that's the player that Torrey's going to go to. Torrey is very, very trustworthy, almost to a fault. If you're one of his guys, you're one of his guys, probably well past the point that you should be if you struggle.
Correct.
Kevin Ginkel's that guy. Cade Stroud, I'm sure he's going to become a fan favorite. I'm sure he's going to become a highly utilized pitcher. He's unknown to this organization right now. They like him. They clearly traded for him, but they don't know. They don't know what role they have for him. Andrew Hoffman, Brandon Garcia, some of the names we threw out there. Those are guys they got in the middle of the year last year. Still relative unknowns. Jonathan Loaizaga is an unknown to this organization. Just so many question marks. Again, I asked the question, who's closing games? Who's setting up?
You don't have an 8th inning or a 9th inning guy. If you had a great 8th inning guy.
You have a 7th inning guy?
Probably not.
Is Cade Stroud your 7th inning guy?
The only name I can think of is Cade Stroud right now.
Do you have right now 3 relievers that you trust to form the triangle of 7th, 8th, and 9th? And even if the roles are fluid and some nights one guy's a closer, other nights the other guy's a closer, and it rotates through and, it's closer by committee, it's set up by committee, even if that's the framework that they want to use until they get A.J. Puck back, fine. Do you have 3 guys that we would put into that trust triangle? Do you have 3 guys that you believe in that strongly right now? Again, it's a lot of the same faces. It's a lot of familiar faces from last year's bullpen that wasn't very good, that wasn't very trustworthy, that could not be relied upon.
And the people that you could rely on, the people that you did trust.
2 of them aren't going to pitch.
2 of them aren't going to pitch.
And again, I'm sorry to Justin Martinez. I love Justin Martinez. He's a non-factor for me this season.
He's not in the plans this year.
He cannot be considered a solution to your bullpen. Oh, just wait till Justin Martinez gets back. That's in August. Should I wait for the 100 losses to pile up before then because the Diamondbacks don't have an ability to close games? And listen, I'm the guy who on this program said 2026 can still matter. 2026 can still be a competitive season. And I like a lot of the roster. I like the offense. I think it's better than people give it credit for. I think the defense is going to help out on the run prevention side of things. They're going to be able to be in more baseball games. But it doesn't matter if you have a bullpen that's just going to give up every lead you get. The starting pitching, I think, is reasonable. I don't think it's great. I think it's average to good. You have a below average bullpen. And that feels like a recipe for disaster. Feels like a cocktail of catastrophe. You like that?
That's a new one. I
good,
like
right?
that. I like that a lot. But this is a team that is honestly, we believe, thinking about bringing back Zach Allen.
You know what it's going to feel like? And I'm going to push a button on my board, and I don't know if my board is working today. But it's going to sound like I'm going to play the wheel. No, my board is not working today.
See, I don't even have the wheel on my board.
No, the wheel is the wheel of misfortune, which is what it's tagged on my board, is just a button that I press. And I can't. You can't hear, right?
Your board is clearly not working.
But the button says it's on.
Is it up?
You think? I mean, you do you not trust my ability to push the button here?
Give me 2 seconds here.
No, I'm pushing buttons in here. I want to play the wheel of misfortune because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a spinning of the wheel to figure out who's closing games for this baseball team. That's what it's going to feel like. That's what it's going to be. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be aggressive. I don't know if they're going to make any moves. I don't know if they're going to add anybody, or they're just going to trust and they're going to throw a bunch of darts at the dartboard in spring training with Jonathan Loaisiga and a bunch of young arms that they invite to camp, and they hope Cade Stroud maybe becomes something for them, and some of the young arms they picked up at the trade deadline last year can evolve into roles, and Juan Murillo, now that he's had some big league experience, can be factored into. I mean, it's just going to be this spring. Is there a single job in this bullpen that isn't up for grabs? I mean,
every job is up for grabs.
Open season.
It's completely open season.
Open season for the Diamondbacks in their bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a young bullpen arm, you believe this is a roster you can make.
Of course. Of course, if you're a young arm, you see spots aplenty. You don't see a veteran making a ton of money in your way. You don't see, 4 or 5 guys that are tried and true, 5, 6, 7-year vets that have had a hold on their spot. No, it's wide open. That's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
That competition can create something. But boy, it just feels like it's way too many question marks. Is there anybody in the bullpen right now that there's a question mark not next to their name? You want me to pull up the list?
Can I say something? I think the only name is Cade Stroud.
And he's a question mark just because he's never been in this organization before.
He's new, but he's probably the biggest non-question mark.
He was great last year in the 25 games that he pitched. Here's the projected bullpen according to Fangraphs after the news yesterday of Andrew Saalfrank going down with a shoulder injury. Kevin Ginkel's the closer. Cade Stroud and Ryan Thompson are your 2 setup men. Your middle relievers are Dre Jameson, Taylor Clark, Jonathan Loaisiga, Brandon Garcia, and your long man is Andrew Hoffman. That's the group. That's the group.
Yeah, nobody I trust in there.
Nobody that's a slam dunk. Oh,
no.
Have to have that guy in my bullpen.
Yeah.
And so I just don't know if there's going to be an aggressive pursuit from Mike Hazen. This is not who he is. He doesn't panic.
This feels like can I say something? Does it feel like a mismanagement? Like, I know some of their pieces are hurt, but it's not like, they went down the first week of spring training.
No, they
went into the season thinking
they went into the offseason knowing that Justin Martinez and AJ Polk were not going to be available for best case scenario the first 2.5 months of the season.
Correct.
They knew that. And their additions to the bullpen were Jonathan Loaisiga.
Correct.
So, yeah, if you want to criticize Mike Hazen and company for not addressing the bullpen more, I don't have a leg to stand on to argue you with that.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's a complete mismanagement of the roster to not address it in the slightest.
And it's not even like you needed to go out and get a closer. I mean,
No.
I would have loved Evan Williams here. We said on a 1-year, prove it, kind of get your value back kind of deal.
Based on the deal he got, I don't think they were in the market.
And Edwin Diaz would have been great. They were not going to spend that kind of money on a closer, right? There were options out there, but you couldn't get, I don't know. You think if I pull up this list, I can find at least 3 names that would have made sense on modest deals?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find some deals.
What did Helsley get this offseason?
You know what? It's a great person to start with.
I mean, that's a guy who really struggled at the end of 2025.
Ryan Helsley got a 2-year, $28 million deal from the Baltimore Orioles. Pete Fairbanks, 1 year, $13 million. You couldn't do that?
Yeah. Would have done the Helsley deal, would have done the Fairbanks deal.
You couldn't do Luke Weaver went to the Mets. 2 years, $22 million. You didn't want to do that? Kyle Finnegan got a 2-year deal from the Tigers. 2 years, $19 million. You couldn't do that? I mean, there's deals out there. They didn't do any of them. They didn't do any of them, and I don't know if they're going to do anything. I think they're going to roll the dice with this group. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. And I got to tell you, you want to buckle up for this one. Because if I don't have any of the music, I mean, buy or sell. Buy or sell music? Can you hear the buy or sell music if I push the button? Oh, so okay. All right, so we are prepared. We have a backup option. So buy or sell. Okay, do you have the NFL music in there? Is the NFL news dump safe today on the program? That's buy or sell. Okay, the NFL news dump is okay. So 12:15, 12 o'clock, we're good. Me playing any of the drops on the board? Not happening. I'm gonna have to push the buttons during the break. Really try to break some stuff. So we're gonna need to take a timeout. When we come back, thanks for hanging out with us here today on the Tuesday edition of the program. When we return, could the Cardinals get creative to maximize their return if they decide to trade Kyler Murray? We'll explore that next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. Instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get the jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt. And that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
This Valentine's Day, fall in love with big giveaways at Ponco's grand opening celebration. Join me, the Shanman, and 98 KUPD at Ponco Cave Creek Saturday, February 14th. The grand opening runs from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., and I'll be there from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. near Cave Creek Road and the 101. Score hourly giveaways including diamond jewelry and firearms, plus huge in-store deals, fast loans, and top dollar for items you want to sell. Bring the whole family for food trucks, music, and fun all day long. Don't miss Ponco's Valentine's Day grand opening. Details at azponco.com.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers. Saturday, August 15th. Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus, branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month. And I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Jerome here with your Rome Report. Let me reset something I posted on X last night. Don't confuse last night's Super Bowl being garbage with Seattle's defense being brilliant. The game wasn't bad. Seattle's defense is elite and completely bullied, dominated, and ultimately erased Patriots quarterback Drake May. And no, I don't want to hear that May took the spike before the game because he had a bad shoulder and that it must have affected him. You know what affected him? His line's inability to block Seattle's dominant defensive front. I'm not here to bury the Pats. They had an incredible season. Their future is obviously bright, but there was nothing surprising about last night. The Pats were completely outclassed, outcoached, and outmanned by a superior Seahawks team that was clearly the most complete team in the NFL all year long, even if no one outside their locker room knew it until last night. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Should have been on the All-Star team instead of LeBron. Now, I hope it's LeBron's last year if they're going to give him this spot. But the Clippers are hosting the All-Star game without any All-Stars. And Kawhi, who's played more games than LeBron this year and has better numbers this year, should have been named to the All-Star team.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Producer Evan, I think there's only one drop that we could use to test whether or not we're back.
The alignment.
We're good. Everything is right with the world. We're going to be back for the rest of the program. Although now, I don't know if the two things are related. My TV just went off, and it says content unavailable. So I was watching. I had the Olympics on. I was flipping back and forth. We get the board fixed. Now I lose the TV. So it's not going well on this side of the glass today.
Yeah, it hasn't been a perfect day over there.
It hasn't been a perfect day for you either because you're sweating the U.S. and
I'm sweating this.
And I think it's over. I think they've lost the mixed doubles.
They've
gold.
had every opportunity and they have ruined this.
At 10 o'clock today, we were getting ready for the show, and producer Evan got mad at me that I did not already have on like the curling pre-match show that I wasn't already ready for this. So he's fully invested into.
Well, in fairness, you did have your meeting today.
I did. I had my department head meeting, which is normally on Tuesday, so I'm a little bit behind the normal chain of events. We seem to be doing all right. We're back on track, and you're sweating the curling in there. I think some Cardinals fans will be sweating the next couple of weeks in regards to what they are going to do with Kyler Murray. There was a great write-up on ESPN by Ben Solak today, kind of setting the table, if you will, right? Putting all of the pieces on the chessboard of this quarterback market. The title of the story was, I think, 10 teams, 12 quarterbacks, no great options, sorting the lackluster quarterback market. And the first name that Ben talks about in his story is Kyler Murray. And some of this information, now mind you, this story is written for a national audience, so some of this stuff we already know, but I do think it's fair to refresh where things stand with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Adam Schefter reporting last week that the Cardinals are looking to trade Kyler Murray. If they do that, they would save a bunch of money on the cap. If they just cut him outright, it's a dead cap hit of $54.7 million. They just choose to release him from his contract, move on. They don't get what they want in a trade. They realize that they need a new quarterback next year. Cutting Kyler Murray incurs a cap hit, a dead cap hit of $54.7 million. That is $54.7 million against the cap. Cardinals can't do anything with. It is associated with a player that is not going to play for them. It is associated with a player that's going to play for somebody else. So that's why trading him is the more preferred route for Monty if this is the path they choose to go down. They trade him, the cap hit that they would only have for 2026 would be $17 million. His expected cap hit of 52 for this year, minus the 17. It's $35 million in cap space for the Arizona Cardinals. Look at any of your favorite cap sources right now and add $35 million to it if they're able to trade Kyler Murray ahead of the 5th day of the new league year. $35 million in cap space that they can go out and spend on a player. But this becomes a little bit of a problem because Kyler's owed a lot of money in cash over the next 2 seasons. He's got $22.8 million for this year that's guaranteed. $17 million in roster bonuses that gets guaranteed by whoever has him on their roster on the 5th day of the new league year if they trade for him. So that means a $40 million guarantee for year one, and they've got $19.5 million guaranteed for year two. That is 2 years, nearly $60 million tied up in Kyler Murray if you chose to trade for him between now and the 5th day of the new league year. And Ben does a great job in the story comparing him to Daniel Jones from last year, who signed a 1-year deal for $14 million to be Indy's bridge quarterback. Because you'd have to think most teams that are getting Kyler Murray are viewing him as a bridge, a stopgap, a veteran option that maybe can turn into the next Sam Darnold, but really is just a way to get you from point A to point C, right? From your situation now to where you have a long-term answer at quarterback with somebody else. But if you compare the numbers over the past 5 seasons, taking out Daniel Jones' great year last year, they're pretty similar. The EPA per dropback, Murray's got the advantage there. Their dropback success rate is pretty close. Their adjusted net yards per attempt is pretty close. Everything is pretty close. One is being paid $60 million over the next 2 years, so $30 million a season. One got $14 million in a 1-year deal this offseason. And so Ben points out at the end of the story that if Murray's contract is traded in its current setup, that he would be surprised if the Cardinals could fetch more than a day 3 pick. Quote, if Murray's contract is traded in its current form, I think the return would almost be nominal, a day 3 pick. For acquiring teams with plenty of cap space and a long-term rebuild ahead, think teams such as the Jets, keeping the draft capital and spending the money on Murray might be preferable. But would the Cardinals endure the optics of getting just a 4th-round pick for Murray to save the money? I'd wager they're more likely to take on some dead cap in order to improve the draft compensation they get in return, which would put other teams in play, end quote. And that's where you start to see some of the levers that a team can pull to try to maximize their return. So would the Cardinals, knowing that if they cut him outright, they would be facing a $50+ million cap hit, would they be willing to pull some of the levers to maybe not take on all 50, but to take on 25, 30, 35, however they can structure it, however they can put it together in order to turn that maybe low-end day 3 pick into a late 3rd, a decent day 2 draft selection? You're not going to get a 1 for Kyler Murray. I don't think you're getting a 2 for Kyler Murray. I think if you ate a decent chunk of the money, you might be able to sneak out a day 3, a round 3 pick, a late day 2 pick. Because what teams are going to do is they're going to call your bluff. We're not going to give you that. We're not going to give you that and take on the money. So we're just going to wait for you to cut them. And then the Cardinals will try to call that bluff by saying, do you really want to compete with all the other teams? Where this is your ticket to give up a little bit of draft capital, take on a little bit of money, and you get the guy that you want. You don't have to mess with everybody else. And that's the way the Cardinals can kind of leverage this and try to create a bidding war. They're going to have to get creative. And so, Monty, you kept your job. You're still the GM. You're going to be put in charge of this very significant offseason. This is going to be your first big test. What levers are you able to pull here to maximize this return? If, as reports have said, you really want to move on from it.
It is going to be a maze to figure out how you're going to get the most for Kyler Murray. I think you're going to have to take on probably more than at least a half of this contract to get a return that we all would want or deem even useful. Because right now, I think they're looking at a 5th-round pick, if that, for Kyler Murray, for somebody to take on that contract. And I get it. You're going to need to find a team in a complete rebuild, a team that really has no future in the next few years, that's willing to eat that kind of money. And then also their draft assets they look at as more valuable because of that. So they're going to give you a 3rd-round pick? No chance.
Not if they're also being asked to take on the 2 years, $60 million.
So you need to eat, you said at least $25 million. I think it could be more than that. I think it could be upwards of 30.
And then it's just the appetite of how much cap are the Cardinals willing to forego here. Again, cutting him outright costs you $50 million. So to me, that's the number I would work against. I know Dreamland, they could get somebody to take on his full contract. They would save the full 35, right?
It's not real. I
don't think that's the real world. I don't think that's reality. I don't think we live in that. I think you need to look at against the 52 or whatever it would be. I think it's 54.7. What was the number I read here? This is where the memory of a goldfish comes in. 54.7 is what the dead cap hit would be if they cut him outright. Weigh it against that. How much can I save against that number? If I eat 40 instead of 57, I save, 14.7. Weigh it against that number. Maximize that number. Because if you don't trade him, you're going to cut him if you've made the decision to move on from him. And that means you are willing to take on a $54.7 million cap hit. Because that's what it would be.
And are you willing to do that?
Because they can't designate him as a post-June 1 because they have to keep him on the roster until then.
So they're not willing to do that. So they're gonna have to trade him. Finding an organization that's going to be willing to take on that contract.
I think there'll be a team that will be willing to take on some of the contract.
Certainly. 20, at best 30 million. I think you could find an organization willing to do that.
I think if you're willing to eat a decent chunk of the money, I think there'll be a team that would be willing to make the move, to jump the line, to not have to get into the battle royale of free agency and wonder if their offer is the best. I think if you eat some of the money, there would be a team willing to jump the line. And you'd have to put it more in line with what Daniel Jones got, right? 1 year, 14. Correct. So it's 2 years. So 2 years, 28, 2 years, 30. You got to eat about $25 million.
Yeah.
That's what you have to assume in this deal. And that might be your way of getting a third round pick at best.
And it still does give you more cap space. It is a lot less than we had probably originally drawn up.
Yeah, but it also you just move on, right? You have
to get it over with. You have to get it over.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us via the free KDUS AM 1060 app. And if you're listening over there, register, log in for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust, the Playmakers Classic, Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. 3 hours of nonstop experiences and excitement, 100 baseball players, live performances, live broadcasts, fanatics. We'll have custom experiences and activations. It is going to be a night to celebrate the game of baseball. The MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic, Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app. When we return, the Suns back in action tonight. Can they bounce back and get their February back on track? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball continues right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lady Sun Devils as Big 12 conference play continues with a matchup against Utah. Head coach Molly Miller is more than ready to defend home court and win over the Utes. Join Jeff Mott on the call live this Wednesday evening. It's ASU versus Utah. Pregame at 6 p.m. and tip-off at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Life can change in an instant. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can feel overwhelming. The pain, the stress, and the uncertainty of what comes next. You don't have to go through it alone. The attorneys at Sweet James understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact an accident can have. They're here to help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to under the law. When you call Sweet James, you're connecting with a team of attorneys experienced in handling serious injury cases. Their work is driven by preparation, advocacy, and a genuine commitment to helping clients seek accountability and justice. Every case is different, and outcomes depend on the specific facts involved. If you've been injured in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James for your free case review. They handle everything for you so you can focus on healing. That's the Sweet James advantage. Help available 24/7. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
My Chemical Romance. The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com for mychemicalromance.com.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
Let's talk letters, starting with C. C is for Camry and Corolla. C is for comfort, control, and cruising through everyday valley life. Now let's try another one. T. T is for Tundra and Tacoma. T is for tough, thrilling, and taking on whatever the day throws your way. Different letters, different strengths, but they both spell out the same thing, Toyota. Right now, get 4.99% for 72 months on the new 2026 Camry or Corolla, or get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months on the 2025 Tacoma SR5 or 2026 Tundra. See your Valley Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. 4.99% financing with $1,610 per thousand BARD for 72 months. 2.99% financing with $1,519 per thousand BARD for 72 months. Zero down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and N3226. See dealer for details.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The Suns back in action tonight, hopefully to add another red W to our schedule over here. You notice I changed out? I've gone with the yellow highlighter today.
Yeah, what's up with the yellow highlighter?
Well, we don't need the red Sharpie, so I'm not gonna use the red Sharpie on the program. The red Sharpie is saved for days in which we are celebrating Suns victories. We have the W to our schedule here. We have just one lonesome W back on February 3rd, a week ago. Suns haven't won in a week. They're back in action tonight against Dallas. And boy, if there is ever a get-right game for a team, it is tonight for the Phoenix Suns against the Dallas Mavericks. You're home. You're playing a team that you have done pretty well against this season. And more importantly, you are playing a team that has lost 7 games in a row. 7. The last win that the Dallas Mavericks had was a 123-115 win over Golden State on January 22nd. That's the last time they've won a game. They've lost to the Spurs twice. They lost to the Celtics, the Rockets. They lost to the Hornets, the Timberwolves. Remember, they traded Anthony Davis. This is the perfect get-right spot. You're not going there to take on Dallas. In the middle of a 7-game losing streak, they've got to travel to you. And this is where we talk about this Phoenix Suns team and what has been one of their major calling cards this year. Remove the first month of the season in October. Other than that, the thing they've been excellent at is they don't allow a slide like this to spiral. And we talked earlier in the week, are we starting to see the signs of a team running out of gas? Tonight's game will tell us this. Because if they are sluggish, if this game is closer than it should be, if this game is competitive into the fourth quarter, late into the game, and the Suns sneak out of there with a victory, that will tell you that the All-Star break cannot come fast enough for this team to recharge their batteries. But if they can flip that switch, if they can find the little extra, if they can get back to being a team, when they face teams like Dallas, they blow them out. Second half, they come out in the third quarter and they run the leads up to 16, 18, 20 points, and it's over. Game, set, match. They get teams to call off the dogs. That's what they need to do tonight. And they are playing perhaps the perfect team for that to occur. They've lost 7 in a row. They were sellers at the deadline. They can't get out of their own way. They've got to travel to you. You got to be home. You've lost these back-to-back games to Golden State and Philly, but you haven't had to hop on a plane. You've been sleeping in your own bed. Snap the losing streak tonight. Do what you have done best all season long, which is beat teams like Dallas and beat them pretty comfortably. I think they beat them 123, 114 the last time they played. Just take care of business. Take care of business.
If you can just take care of business tonight, get back on track, you can lose to the good teams, and it will be a struggle in February, but you cannot lose one in Dallas, because then it becomes, we're falling by the wayside here.
You losing to Oklahoma City, it's fine.
That's going to happen. But if you lose to Dallas, things start to snowball.
Now it's 3 in a row if you lose tonight to Dallas. It's your first losing streak of 3 games since the beginning of the year. And you will have then lost 4 of 5. It will be your worst stretch since the beginning of the year. It will just start to make the nerves grow a little bit about where this team is at. Because listen, losing to Golden State, you shouldn't blow the lead, but Golden State's not a bad basketball team. Philadelphia is not a bad basketball team. You played a competitive game against Philly and you lost. That's going to happen. Phoenix Suns aren't going to go undefeated. But these games, you've been great at it. You beat Portland. I look in the month of January. Sacramento, you beat them when you were supposed to. Memphis, Washington, Brooklyn twice. You've taken care of the teams you're supposed to take care of this season. New Orleans both times. You beat Washington in December. When you are very clearly the better team, you have proven it time and time again. They're 8.5-point favorites tonight. They're relatively healthy. They're at home. Dallas is on a major losing streak. There's no excuse. This has to be a win tonight. This is where you snap the losing streak. This is where you get back on track. This is where you kind of let everybody take that deep breath and say, okay, things are all right. You have a classic 2025, 2026 Phoenix Suns performance tonight. You go retro, you go old school, you break it out, and you play your brand of basketball tonight.
It's the only option.
I mean, it just has to be done.
Has to be.
You lose to Dallas, now you're going to invite all of these questions. Are you running out of gas? Did they make a mistake not doing something at the deadline? Did they exert too much energy to get to this point? They're 31-22. And you look at the standings, and you've got to hold off Golden State behind you, who's only now 2.5 back of you for the 7th seed, and you're a full game behind Minnesota. You're a 1.5 games behind the Lakers. You're 2 games behind Houston. See how just very quickly teams can just inch in front of you, and they inch and inch and inch, and all of a sudden, now you're 5 games back. Can't lose tonight to Dallas. You have to find a way. You have to play your style of basketball, and you've been so good at it all year. You've been excellent at making sure you don't have long losing skids. Got to show it to us again tonight.
No doubt about it.
And I need to
other choice.
Have the red Sharpie ready for tomorrow's program. I don't want to come in here and do the show with the yellow highlighter.
No choice. You have to win tonight.
Have to win tonight. And again, 6-5 is kind of what we said would be a great month of February. You need to win games like this to get to even have that remotely be on the table. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, the Cardinals could be interested in a free agent quarterback. Will they do what it takes to land him? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
America 250 Florida Duel at Daytona International Speedway.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Field comes to the line. Green flag goes in the air.
Returns to the World Center of Racing.
Up into the outside wall is Zane Smith.
As the final spots in the Great American Race are on the line.
Justin Allgaier has transitioned in to the Daytona 500.
It's the America 250 Florida Duel at Daytona.
This Thursday, 4 p.m. on KEZG 1440.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. Let's be honest, nobody keeps New Year's resolutions. Gym memberships don't get used and diets fail. If you lost your firearm rights because of past convictions, here's a resolution you can keep. You've thought about this for years. Make it happen in 2026. You make the decision, Restore My Civil Rights does the work. This resolution will change your life. To book a free consultation today, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
Come on down to the Ranch House Grill. Comfort food is your next meal. Pork chili verde, chicken fried steak. Ranch House knows you'll think it's great. Hey there, Phoenix. Have you tasted the best breakfast in town yet? Well, Ranch House Grill has it. From our crispy golden chicken fried steak to our hearty slow-cooked pork chili verde, our generous portions are sure to make you feel right at home. We serve breakfast and lunch every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. in a cozy, family-friendly spot with a small-town feel. After 19 years of serving up Southwestern comfort food, we're still right here on 56th Street and Thomas Road. Come on by and let us make your morning special.
Right now at Mark Kia, you can lease the brand new 2027 Kia Telluride for just $449 a month for 36 months with just $39.99 due at signing.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Title license in 998 fee. Offer expires March 2nd, 2026.
The 2026 ASU baseball season begins this Friday on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils and head coach Willie Bloomquist for another season at the ballpark as they look to start 2026 with a win against Omaha. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, with the call live from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It's ASU versus Omaha this Friday night. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch of the season at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
That's right. ASU baseball back this Friday. Season gets underway. Just like that. Football's done. Spring training begins. ASU baseball's back in full swing. It's just how quickly the seasons change in sports. It was just last week we were getting ready for the Super Bowl, the last game of the season, and all of a sudden it feels like baseball just pushes the power button and just everywhere there's baseball. But there is still some football for us to get to here on the program, and there will be a lot of big-time questions this offseason for the Arizona Cardinals, and one of them is going to be their future at quarterback. We've been talking about it for what has felt like months now. Really, the conversation started in the middle of the season, and they're not going to really go anywhere until there are actual answers. And what I believe has become a popular answer at this position is for the Cardinals to be the team that lands Malik Willis in free agency. And I can go through all the connections again if you'd like. Malik Willis playing in Green Bay for Mike LaFleur's brother, Matt LaFleur. So that connection is there. You've got Monty, before he got the GM job with the Arizona Cardinals, was in the Tennessee front office. Who drafted Malik Willis in the draft? That would be the Tennessee Titans. There are connections all over the place that could link Malik Willis to the Arizona Cardinals. And those connections at the end of the day could be the difference. Here is where I get a little concerned, and I will be the person that throws cold water on all of this. Of the quarterbacks that are available in free agency, producer Evan, who do you expect to get the most money? If I could let you pick anybody in the field and say that guy is going to set the mark for the biggest contract of this free agent class, who you pick?
Probably Malik Willis.
Okay, that's the problem. Because there is going to be a bidding war for Malik Willis's services. Cleveland is in desperate need of a quarterback. Miami is going to be in desperate need of a quarterback, and there are connections there as well. The Jets are going to be in desperate need of a quarterback. Atlanta, I don't know. I think they are. Minnesota, again, I don't know. They could be. You want to talk about slam dunk teams that need a quarterback? Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. The Dolphins need a quarterback. The Cardinals need a quarterback. The Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. Those are the teams that you are competing with. You don't have as much cap space as some of those teams. You don't have the infrastructure, the supporting cast to some of those teams. You've got the connections. I'll give you that. You've got the connections. But this is going to be about more than just connections. This is also going to be about the dollar amount. Because there's going to be a bidding war here. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to put their hat in the ring for Malik Willis to be their quarterback in 2026. Are you going to spend more than the New York Jets? Are you going to spend more than the Miami Dolphins? Are you going to spend more than the Cleveland Browns? Are you going to spend more than the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are you going to spend more than these teams that we know are desperate? Not kind of flirting with the idea of a quarterback like Minnesota is, like Atlanta is. They're flirting with the idea. They've got somebody on roster that they could go with at the quarterback spot. Atlanta could run it back with Michael Penix and Kevin Stefanski. The Minnesota Vikings could, after the way he played in the final 4 games of the season, allow J.J. McCarthy to be their starter in 2026. They could do that. The Jets don't have a quarterback on their roster. As much as Mike McCarthy wants to tell me that he likes Will Howard, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have a quarterback on their roster. Miami, they're going to get out of the Tua business. It's not going to be Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson. They're going to need another quarterback on their roster. Those teams are desperate. And those teams don't have the number 1 overall pick the way the Las Vegas Raiders do. They'll solve their quarterback problem with Fernando Mendoza. The desperation meter in New York, in Miami, in Pittsburgh, it's going to be sky high. Can you match it? Are you going to be able to do what it takes if Malik Willis is the guy you want? And boy, there are plenty of reasons to think why Malik Willis would be the guy they want. The LaFleur connection, the Monty connection, the need at quarterback, the way Malik Willis played last year. He played great in a system that, let's face it, is going to be very similar to the one Mike LaFleur is going to want to run. Sure, he and his brother have some of the same type of ideas when it comes to offense. Are you going to be able to go to the limits that it's going to take, the extremes that it's going to take? You may have to overpay. You may have to be willing to spend more than actually makes you comfortable if Malik Willis is your guy.
That's just simply how the quarterback market works.
Especially in a class, in a free agent class of quarterbacks that isn't all much to write home about. It's not a good group. Malik Willis might be the best of this group. So everybody going to be tripping over themselves, elbowing each other out of the way to get a shot at landing Malik Willis. And that's why you need the Kyler thing wrapped up early, because you don't want to be dealing with the Kyler thing while other teams, they don't have that. Pittsburgh doesn't have that problem. The Jets don't have that problem. They can just go out and start laying the groundwork for, this is what we're going to offer Malik Willis. The Cardinals, they've got to walk and chew gum at the same time. They've got to trade their existing quarterback, but they also have to do the work on Malik Willis. Pittsburgh doesn't have to do that. The Jets don't have to do that. Miami's got to do it. Cleveland doesn't. That's why you got to wrap up the Kyler thing sooner rather than later, so that you can go cleanly, clearly, with your sole focus being on Malik Willis, if that's your guy, if that's the path you want to take. I have my doubts of Michael Bidwell going to the extremes that it's going to take. What do we think the contract's going to be?
Oh, gosh. So just thinking back to last year, what did Darnold get?
Darnold got 3,110.
3,110. What did Daniel Jones got? What?
114.
114. I think it's a 4-year, $80 million deal.
You think someone's going to give him that type of term?
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical of somebody going that long for him.
3 years, 60. I think it's a 20 million AAV.
Spotrac, which does a great job of this with their market value, they have him at 2 years, $71 million.
Whoa.
They have it as a 35.5 annual average salary. The comps that they used, Sam Darnold's 3 years, $100.5 million, so not 110, 100.5. Daniel Jones's 1 year, $14 million. Baker's recent 3 year, $100 million deal, and Geno Smith's 2 year, $75 million deal. And they used that. They used statistical comparisons, and they gave it 2 years, $71 million, $35.5 million. That feels a little...
It feels a little rich.
That feels a little rich. But what would 35.5 be in terms of a cap hit? Do you know where 35 would put him in terms of a cap hit? Like 35 million, the annual average value?
Eighth.
So if we just look at contract...
That's just a guess.
If we look at contract average, Dak leads the way at 60. 35 would be in front of Sam Darnold, in front of Baker Mayfield, behind Geno Smith. It would be 18th in the sport. No. It would be a top 20.
Well, that's way lower.
It would be a top 20 quarterback contract. Now, remember, the cap's going up. And so I like to look at the percentage of the AAV in terms of the cap. So like Joe Burrow got 24.47% of the 2023 cap in his contract on an annual average value. That, to me, is a better...
indication.
A better indication of how much money you're giving up, because $35.5 million today isn't $35.5 million 4 years ago, or 4 years ago when the cap was lower, right? They expect the cap to go up. They expect the cap to go up by, I think it's like $15-20 million. So $35.5 million is almost halfway eaten up by just the increase. So it's a smaller percentage of what the cap actually is. So that's another way to look at it. 35.5 still feels like a lot. But guess what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, neither would I.
I wouldn't be surprised. You've got so many desperate quarterback teams that are going to be tripping over each other and themselves to land Malik Willis.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
He's viewed as one of the better options out there. Let me see if I can get the quarterback market back up here quickly enough to give you some of the other names that are out there. Daniel Jones. What's Daniel Jones going to get coming off of that injury? Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy G, Mitch Trubisky, Case Keenum, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz. You see how Malik Willis all of a sudden becomes the number one option.
He's the premium of the market.
And the premium of the market gets paid as such. So are you willing to do what it takes if you're the Arizona Cardinals? That, to me, is going to be a very important question to keep an eye on. We've got buy or sell, we've got the NFL news dump, and we got more Diamondbacks coming up in hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Ready for a one-day only 50% off Goodwill treasure hunt? Then join us on President's Day, Monday, February 16th. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, it's the perfect time to score your best I got it at Goodwill finds. Mark your calendars and stop by your neighborhood Goodwill. We're open from 8 to 10 to get half off everything you want, need, or just gotta have this President's Day. We hope to see you Monday, February 16th.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the show. Producer Evan, we open up hour number 2. The hottest takes that you're going to find anywhere in the Valley. They're right here on this program.
Same way we always do it.
It's your time to shine.
Anthony Pleasant will be the next defensive coordinator of the Cardinals by the end of this week.
Now, I don't want to do this to you, but I feel like it is my obligation. You mean Aubrey Pleasant? You said Anthony.
Yeah, why did I?
I don't know.
Literally have Aubrey Pleasant written.
I know. I assumed you had it written down correctly. It happens to the best of us. You do live radio for 2 hours every day, 10 hours. You're bound to say something stupid or to get a name wrong. But I wanted to protect you before, Brian all of a sudden for the first time today decided to chime in. John decided to, get involved. Protecting you from you. Aubrey Pleasant.
I appreciate
I got you. Don't you worry. Yes, I believe Aubrey Pleasant will be the DC by the end of the week. Feels like there's a lot of traction in that
I was going
direction.
to say, it's starting to take off. The D-backs will have to be a top 5 offense to make the playoffs.
They need to have a top 5 offense?
Last year they finished 6th in run score.
Their bullpen may be.
And the bullpen is maybe worse.
You know what? Now I can do this because I couldn't do it in the open. That's going to be us. Get used to it. Get used to that sounder. We're going to play it a lot because it's going to be the wheel.
I don't know what happened to my list.
What do you mean? What happened to your list?
A meltdown meter.
We'll have to create a new one.
And I'm trying to find the old one. I can't find it.
There was just so many that got put on the melt. And then we would have debates.
Which one was the worst?
Well, no, we would have a debate. Was this a meltdown? Does this rise to the level of being put on the meltdown? And then, yes, we would have the debate of which one was worse. Why do I fear that we're going to be doing that again?
Probably because we will be.
We may have to get a produced open for the meltdown.
We should totally.
We may have to work on it. We've got time. We've got the entire month of March.
We should totally do it.
Talk to our guy, Mike. He's a little busy, but he might be able to produce something up for us. Yeah, they're going to have a really good offense to make up for what I think is going to be I
think it could be the worst bullpen in baseball.
It's on paper right now, I would agree with you. It doesn't always work out that way. We may be pleasantly surprised. But on paper right now, I'm worried, troubled, concerned.
Typically, if you're saying we
dismayed,
may be pleasantly surprised, it means it's pretty bad.
The expectations are not high for that group right now.
Not high. Tonight's Suns
John,
game.
the Nationals might have the worst bullpen in the sport.
What did he say?
He said the worst bullpen, question mark. The Nationals might take that crown. And the A's without Mason Miller, I have no idea what that bullpen's going to look like.
It'll be dominant.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Tonight's Suns game is a must-win. Regular season.
You do this you just do it. You do this, and you write it the way that you write it, because you just want to get me fired up today. It's a Tuesday. It's 12 o'clock. There's no need for this. There's no need for you to use must-win for a February basketball game.
Feels like a must-win.
No, but it's not a must-win.
For confidence, you don't think it's a must-win?
I will sell the take that it is a must-win game.
I disagree. It feels like a must-win.
We have our scale, right? The must-wins, and then what was our next scale? The you'd like to wins?
But I would like to win every game.
It
needs to be something else. Like, I really want this one.
Yeah, I think we said that.
Gotta have it.
The wanna wins. This is a wanna win. I want to win this.
I think this is I think you have is a must win, and then a gotta have it game. I think this is the gotta have it game.
If you want to say it's a gotta have it game, I'm okay with that type of semantics.
Okay.
Because a must win, a gotta have it's still kind of close though to must win.
It's a gotta have it.
We need to workshop something that isn't a must-win, but signals the importance of the game. And I'll take suggestions, 480-864-1060, the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We can workshop this, but I want something lower than must.
There.
Like, because if we were creating a scale, must is like the most important game you're going to play all season.
Correct.
And then the other end of the scale would be like, meh. Like, all right.
Correct.
I need something a little bit below must.
The Cardinals won't be willing to spend more than $25 million on Malik Willis.
Michael says, okay, I'm gonna tweak what you had. A need it bad game. How about we just call it a need it game? Or is need too close to must?
No, I don't think it's.
Do we think there's enough of a?
Yeah.
But need is necessity, which I don't think it's a necessity that they win.
It's a necessity. It's the bare necessities.
Really, that's what you wanted to go with there. You thought that was going to play with this audience, huh?
You didn't like Jungle Book?
No. Listen, that's fine.
You didn't.
I just don't think pulling out, old school Disney films is going to play well with this audience. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you've got a better pulse than I do. I don't know.
Did it play? I would like to.
I don't know. I don't know if it played.
Jungle Book was underrated.
I think what played was my reaction to it. I don't know if the actual reference itself played.
Okay, so it's a necessity game.
So I just looked up. No, because I think necessity is too close.
I'd say we go with gotta have it.
How about this? It's not a must win, it's an auto win. The Suns should win this game tonight.
It's a why I oughta game.
We need some. I just don't like any of this. I need something just below must. And I don't have anything that like rolls off the tongue. Brian says, how about beneficial? No, that's now too big of a word. I need something crisp. Like must win, it's a phrase that rolls off the tongue.
Want the next one?
Well, you had a take that I just completely railroaded. So if that's the one you mean, yes, I'd like to get back to that one.
That's the one you would like to get back to. The Cardinals won't be willing to spend more than $25 million a year on Malik Willis.
I think the spirit of the take is that the Cardinals will fall short of what it ultimately takes to land Malik Willis. So in the spirit of the take, I will buy. Because I have my doubts and my concerns about this organization stepping up when they need to.
Is $35 million what you think it'll take?
No, I think he's probably closer to like 28 to 30. And again, if the money's close, it's going to be about where he feels he's best in a position to succeed? Does he feel like Arizona with his former coach's brother and Michael Wilson and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr., does he feel like that's the landing spot? Or does he go to Miami with coaches that he's familiar with from last season, coaches that he actually knows, not just his former head coach vouching for his brother, to work with Waddle, to work with Devon Achane? They've got talent there as well, and to be in Miami. I don't know. If the money is close, what situation do you pick? And does a team just decide to blow the roof off of the AAV to get a deal done?
Cutter Boley. We haven't shout out ASU football. Have not done this one in a while.
We've gone.
Cutter Boley will throw for more than 3,000 yards this year.
Cutter Boley will throw for more than 3,000 yards next season.
Give you a reference point, and the reason I said 3,000, Sam's first year at ASU.
Exactly what I was going to ask for.
He threw for 2,885.
It was exact. I needed to know what Sam had did to be able to feel good about this.
2,885.
I'll take the over. 3,000 passing yard season incoming.
And remember, Sam missed a game. Now, obviously, they had the conference championship and playoff, but he did miss a game. So he only played 13 games.
I'll take the over.
Take the over. I'm so excited for ASU football, I got to tell you. Side note.
So am I. It's February, man. We got a long way to go.
Yep, and we'll get into this next one. USA's curling loss today is one of the most disappointing of the year.
You have been distraught today on the program. Watching this.
They had all the opportunity.
And I walked into the studio in between one of the breaks because it was the last end. It was the eighth end. And you just had turned it off. You're like, it's over. They already lost. And just the way you said it, the presentation told me how gutted you were.
I was gutted.
Now it's a silver medal. And the good news is you've got 2 more chances to win a medal, to win the gold.
Yes, and I think we're going to see Corey Dropkin again.
You've got the men's and the women's teams that will try to win gold in curling. So there's plenty more curling action for you here the rest of the Olympics.
Plenty more.
Plenty more.
Corbin Burns will actually be back by the All-Star game.
He says that's what he's aiming for. He was the pitcher who got hurt first among the trio of pitchers for the Diamondbacks.
He was.
Man, the All-Star break is what, July?
Correct.
Middle
of July.
Feels about right. Anything sooner would be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I think so too. If you get, I don't think you're going to see him anytime before June or in June.
I mean, when did he have his surgery? I can look it up. Because you usually go, it's, 13, 15 months usually. Got it in June 11th. So yeah, All-Star break July. That might be pushing it a little bit. I mean, you're only going to get about 10 starts from Corbin Burns this year anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's being extremely positive. Just keep looking at this bullpen. It's not good.
All right, last one for you. Ready?
Please, so that I can click away from this tab. Yes.
Jordan Tyson will still be the first receiver taken off the board. A lot of talk circling that.
Other candidates?
Tate.
I don't think, but Malachi Lemon might be in the conversation.
That's the other one.
I think there's a gap between Tate, Tyson, and Lemon.
The other one I'm seeing mocked in the first round, a couple spots after Tyson, is Concepcion from A&M. Did I say that right?
Yes. Those are the 4. And I think the only reason why Tyson wouldn't go as the first receiver is if you're concerned about the injuries. I think that's the only thing that's going to stop you.
Yeah,
because
I think he's the best receiver in this class.
I mean, because I'll tell you, what team, if I was in charge, should be all over Jordan Tyson?
The New York Football Jets?
The Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you want to give Cam Ward like the perfect number one wide receiver?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That'd be perfect. I mean, the Jets getting Tyson to pair with Garrett Wilson might not be the worst idea in the world. They need somebody to throw the ball to those guys. I will buy that Tyson is still the first receiver. I think that talent is going to be too attractive.
I agree.
To pass up. Especially once you get out of the top 3 picks. If he doesn't go to one of those top 3 teams, and I don't think he will, I don't think the Cardinals will take him at 3, then I think there'll be a team willing to take the risk at 4, 5, 6. And he'll be the first receiver off the board.
I agree.
There you go. That's it. Is that all you got?
All I got.
Another edition of Buy or Sell in the books. When we come back, your phone calls, 480-864-1060. Always welcome here on the program. But it is the NFL News Dump, the post-Super Bowl edition. We'll get to it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The 2026 ASU baseball season begins this Friday on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils and head coach Willie Bloomquist for another season at the ballpark as they look to start 2026 with a win against Omaha. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Huey, with the call live from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It's ASU versus Omaha this Friday night. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch of the season at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Pre-case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809-million. 809-million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour. The greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Maybe you've had your eye on a Fulton home. The premium craftsmanship, thoughtfully designed floor plans, resort-style amenities, and award-winning communities across the valley. A place where every detail feels intentional. For many buyers, homeownership can feel out of reach. But now, owning a Fulton home is more attainable than ever. With special pricing, limited time incentives, and interest rate buydowns on select homes, now is the right moment to make your move. From beautifully designed interiors to the legendary quality Fulton Homes is known for, every detail is built to stand the test of time. Visit any Fulton Homes community today or go to fultonhomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Skeptics have been loud all season long. The Patriots' turnaround, they say, was built on one of the league's softer schedules, wins inflated by circumstance. It's an easy argument to make and an incomplete one. The Patriots didn't choose their path. After 4 wins, they were handed a last-place schedule. This is a reward built into the NFL's quest for parity. You beat who you're told to beat. This is how the league works. Style points are irrelevant. Results are everything. The beauty of the NFL is there's always a reckoning. Next season brings one. New England will now prepare for a first-place schedule. That provides no favors. Bills, Lions, Seahawks, Packers, Chargers. That will be a fantastic measuring stick for this season's surprise contender. If the Patriots are real, the schedule will confirm it. If they're not, it will expose them a bit. Either way, New England finally gets what critics demanded, a chance to prove that they're more than just a product of timing. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at libertymutual.com. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at Liberty Mutual.
Games Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
Not surprised that the Cardinals aren't in. They fired their head coach. Kyler Murray's probably on his way out. It is what they like to call Black Monday. I'm kind of surprised by the Raheem Morris one in Atlanta. It's only been how long? Year? 2 years. So maybe that one. Pete Carroll gone. I told you from the jump when they hired Pete Carroll, I didn't like the hire. I think he's past his due. Let him go after year one. You might as well have kept the guy you had before and saved a bunch of money.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Just because the Super Bowl is over, the NFL season is over, does not mean that the news stops. We still have the NFL news dump, which I think will run, I don't know, through the draft probably.
Probably. Especially with free agency and everything. Sorry.
Free agency's, a month away. Legal tampering starts in a month.
Correct.
So
we're not far.
Not far.
Not far at all.
What do we have in the news dump today?
Okay, so we'll start with probably the bigger news. Clint Kubiak obviously announced, we talked about it a little bit yesterday in the leftovers before we had to go, but Clint Kubiak announced he'll be taking the Raiders head coach job. First pick, a lot of cap space. He's going to be taking the job in a very tough division.
It's the cap space that really intrigues me about this. Not to say that Fernando Mendoza doesn't intrigue me, but you don't have to compete with anybody else, right? You have the number one overall pick. I think one of the main reasons why Clint Kubiak probably took this job is because he was excited by the idea of being able to coach Fernando Mendoza. What is interesting to me is the cap space. They've got a lot of it. How much of it do they throw around to really beef up this offense? And I think the other important thing, what do they do with Max Crosby?
A lot of people think they're going to trade him. And then there's been talk of this morning, Adam Schefter had said people are trying to extend the amount of first-round picks you can trade. What was that story?
So, yeah, there's a report out there that one team this offseason is going to suggest increasing how far out you are able to trade draft picks. Right now, you can only trade picks 3 years into the future. So right now, if you are a team, you can trade 26 draft picks, 27 draft picks, and 28 draft picks. And then once the draft starts, I believe then 29 picks are available to you. Well, they want to bump that to 5 years worth of picks. I think this is a terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
I think you're just going to see GMs go crazy and mortgage the future when they feel like their back's up against a wall.
And that's why the NBA is so confusing. And
you're going to see a lot of teams that if they miss and it doesn't work out and they don't have their first round pick for the next 5 years or whatever the case may be, it's going to take those teams even longer to dig out of that hole.
Back on their feet. The NFL has always been about parity. That rule is part of the reason there's more parity in the league.
Correct, because I think it requires you to be smarter as a GM rather than maybe taking the quick exit ramp that is just trading draft picks. You have to be really, really careful.
David Njoku confirms his Browns tenure will be over. He will leave this year in free agency.
Trey Wingo pointed this out on social media. I thought it was such a great observation. So did Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett said he wasn't going to play for the Browns ever again.
Yeah.
Who did he play for this past year?
The Browns.
Who did he break the single season sack record with?
The Browns.
The Browns could also just use the franchise tag or the transition tag on David Njoku. So this is like the scene in The Office. See, this is a much better reference than I'm about to make. This is the scene in The Office where Michael Scott declares bankruptcy. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to just declare something and it's now the rule of law. It's not how that works. The law of the land. It's not how that works.
Yeah, not at all. Drake May says he won't need off-season surgery.
I don't know if you have it in here, but there's another Patriot story that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Will Campbell here in a second.
Yeah, that's my next story.
Okay. Whatever it was with this shoulder, it clearly compromised him for the Super Bowl.
Correct.
And it compromised their game plan, and it compromised everything about what they were going to do. I'm not surprised that it doesn't require surgery. Not every injury requires surgery. Not every serious injury requires surgery. Just the compact window of it being, beat Denver, you're hurt, it's 2 weeks to the Super Bowl. Like if this was in the middle of the regular season, he would miss 2 weeks, come back, and would be just, a regular injury that we see over the course of a regular season.
Another news for the Patriots. Mike Vrabel continued on to say the Patriots will keep Will Campbell at left tackle.
So I don't want to talk about that part. I'd like to talk about Will Campbell talking to the media, I believe it was today, and apologizing, first off, for not meeting with him after the Super Bowl. Unprompted, he offered that apology, which I think was very classy from Will Campbell. But he also did something that I'm not really sure if I like. I don't love the whole, I was hurt. Like he plays really bad in the Super Bowl, and then he comes out and goes, I had a torn ligament in my knee. That's not the reason why I was bad in the Super Bowl, but I just want to let you know. Well, then why are you telling me? If you're not kind of throwing it out there as a potential excuse for why you played so poorly in the Super Bowl, then why are you telling me?
Yeah, you can't just throw it out
there.
Like,
I get it that we love this in like hockey. Hockey's the sport where this happens all the time. A team wins a Stanley Cup or they get knocked out and you find out after the fact from the team, not from the player, like, this dude had a, broken collarbone that he was playing for.
Yeah.
And you just tip your cap and
because the player never comes out and tells you
right,
that.
the team kind of brings it up.
Right?
It's
very different.
I don't really love Will Campbell going, I had a torn knee ligament that I didn't tell you about.
Like if Vrabel said it comes off very differently than Will Campbell addressing.
And also it's not a great look. Like you're saying it's not an excuse, but you're bringing it up because you kind of want it to be an excuse.
And then he's going to stay at left tackle.
Which I think is a mistake.
This guy is a guard.
I think he got exposed in the Super Bowl.
He's a guard.
Did you see the story?
I think it was all playoffs.
Did you see the story that Seattle, they had a cue? They had a tell on the offensive line?
No.
Somebody, you can look this up. Somebody in the Seattle secondary, I forget who it was, said that they had a tell. They found something on tape that was a tell for what the Patriots were doing on offense, and they used it in the Super Bowl.
Based on the offensive line.
Based on the way the offensive line was set up. See if I can find it.
Wow.
Let me see if I can find the story quickly. Yep. Devon Witherspoon. Patriots offensive lineman had a tell. Seahawks knew what was coming. He told this to Sirius XM NFL radio. Quote, I knew what was going on. We had a good tell on what they like to do and how they like to play and how they were going to attack us. Coach put us in the best position to win. That's our coach right there. That's why we always stand beside him and always have his back. Quote, we had a tell on their guards and their tackles, how they like to set. They're going to overset on certain rushes. They're going to fall for certain moves anytime a group of guys get after them. And today, I think we did that, end quote.
Wow.
You got outcoached. You put something on tape that they were able to dissect. So that's Josh McDaniels, another bad look for you.
That's really bad. I mean, I thought he had a bad game, but that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question on Josh McDaniels?
Please.
It may be offensive or mean to Josh McDaniels. At what point can we throw our hands up and go,
it was just about Tom?
Yeah.
I mean, could it be the failed runs in Denver, the failed run in Vegas?
I mean, like those, and I just mean this in the nicest way possible. Some of the worst head coaching experience I've ever seen. I mean that wholeheartedly. It's like Urban Meyer and Josh McDaniels are the worst. Freddie Kitchens are the worst coaches I have ever seen at the professional level.
Yeah, he hasn't been great outside of Brady.
Terrible.
I mean, Drake May did almost win the MVP this year. Offensively, they were good in the regular season.
Correct.
So I do want to be fair to him.
Yeah, but outside of that,
outside of Brady, it's
and the
mostly
Super
a
Bowl
miss.
game plan was historically bad. And if that is true,
No, outside of Brady, it's not a whole lot of good. There's some good, but it's not a whole lot of good.
very little.
Very little.
That's all I got for you.
That's all you have. The NFL News on post Super Bowl edition. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can listen to us on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. You can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust, the Playmakers Classic Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. 3 hours of nonstop experiences and excitement, interactive games, food and drink, live performances, live broadcasts. They have it all, a night to celebrate baseball. The MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic Warehouse 215, Wednesday, February 18th. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app. When we return, the Diamondback season hasn't begun. Is it over already? That's next, the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
This Valentine's Day, fall in love with big giveaways at Ponco's grand opening celebration. Join me, the Shanman, and 98 KUPD at Ponco Cave Creek Saturday, February 14th. The grand opening runs from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., and I'll be there from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. near Cave Creek Road and the 101. Score hourly giveaways including diamond jewelry and firearms, plus huge in-store deals, fast loans, and top dollar for items you want to sell. Bring the whole family for food trucks, music, and fun all day long. Don't miss Ponco's Valentine's Day grand opening. Details at azponco.com.
The Avett Brothers and Mike Patton present Avett Patton performing live at Arizona Financial Theater, May 12th. Avett Patton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series are coming to Phoenix. And it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Rams and Seahawks, Andy. I don't understand how to be so aggressive. Instead of definitely going up 13-10, your play calls resulted in a quick punt, so quick that Seattle actually gets the ball back, goes down the field and takes a lead, and then they get the jump on you in the second half with that fumbled punt. And that was a huge mistake by the Rams. But I'm going to go back to how they mismanaged that at halftime.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It is the first day of spring training for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pitchers and catchers reporting today. And I'm already asking the question, is the season over? I'm already bringing it up. Because we learned today, if you missed it, we opened the show with this, but Nick Pecoro had a chance to talk with some players, and we got a whole host of updates. Justin Martinez is aiming for an August return. Yesterday, we learned Andrew Saalfrank going to miss the entirety of the 2026 season. Corbin Burns is eyeing more of a all-star break return. AJ Puck thinks he could be ready by May, but doesn't really anticipate the team allowing him to go that soon off of the injury, but he had a brace instead of the full Tommy John, so he might be able to be ahead of Corbin Burns, ahead of Justin Martinez, and it appears as if he will be the first arm back for this team. And boy, are they going to need AJ Puck out there in that bullpen. And this is what I worried about with these injuries, and this is why I wanted a veteran, stable, stopgap closer, because I didn't want AJ Puck to feel a need to rush back and to get back into the high leverage situations right away. I wanted there to be kind of a soft ramp up to this, but it doesn't feel like that's going to be the case for this team. And I'm being mostly hyperbolic when I say, is the season already over? But these bullpen injuries, and it feels like last year, all of the injuries that happened to this pitching staff, to this bullpen, how they couldn't be, they couldn't get anything going. And you thought, man, how is this happening to the Diamondbacks? All of these Tommy John surgeries that their pitchers are undergoing, and we haven't even started the 26th season. And while it's not Tommy John surgery, they've already lost a pitcher. They already lost somebody that they were counting on to be a major part of their bullpen to start this season, and that player is not going to be able to contribute. And it feels almost like here we go again. It feels like just a continuation of the injuries that piled up last year. And you can't blame the team. They haven't even been in camp. They haven't even played games. There isn't a process here that led to Andrew Saalfrank needing to have shoulder surgery. Something must have happened in the offseason. That's just bad luck. And it just feels like these are piling up for this Diamondbacks team to the point where they're just running out of guys. Like, they're one bad injury to their rotation here in spring from being down bad in multiple departments.
Yeah. I mean, they're one bad injury on seemingly the infield as well as pitching from being down pretty bad.
I have their ranks last year for their relievers. I pulled these up during the break. Last year, 27th in ERA, 26th in WHIP, 21st in walks per 9, 26th in strikeouts per 9, 27th in hits per 9, 18th in home runs per 9.
It's not going to get any better.
And that included, half a season of Justin Martinez, half a season of AJ Puck.
Correct.
Some of Andrew Saalfrank. Hitting, they were great across the board. Top 10 in average, on base percentage, OPS, runs, home runs. And I think their offense is going to be mostly good this year. But it just feels like it's already starting again with them, with the injuries. Here's who's on their injured list already before the season's even started. Tyler Locklear, Lourdes Gurriel, Corbin Burns, Blake Walston, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck, Andrew Saalfrank. Those are guys already on the injured list. And I see, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4 Tommy John surgeries. Puck, Martinez, Burns, Blake Walston. Now, in the case of Puck, it was the internal brace. It wasn't the full-blown Tommy John, but it's still a version of Tommy John surgery. 4 Tommy Johns. Before the season's even started, that's what they're going to have on their long-term injured list. And they've added one player already in Andrew Saalfrank. And let's face it, injuries happen to your pitching staff over the course of the season, so they're not going to have a clean bill of health the rest of the way. It just feels like they are They have like the most razor thin margin when it comes to one injury toppling this house of cards. That's what it feels like to me. And that's where you start to get worried about, man, they're one bad injury, one bad stretch from it being over before it even begins. Now, it's a long season. It's 162, and I think there's a lot of bright spots. I think there's a lot of bright spots on the offense. I think their defense is going to be much improved. And by the way, they were a pretty decent defensive team last year. They weren't that bad. 12th in outs above average. Their framing was inside the top 15. And I think they got better across the board. They're going to have a full season of Gabby Moreno, a full season of James McCann, who they added late in the year. The corners are going to be much better. Most ground balls are going to be a vacuum. Like, there are reasons to be optimistic about them being better, but just these pitching injuries. And the news today, Justin Martinez, he's aiming for an August return.
And that could mean late September.
That could mean he doesn't pitch at all in 2026.
Correct.
If he has a setback. You can't count on him for anything. It's like now you can't count on Andrew Saalfrank.
You have to play the whole year, assuming Justin Martinez is not going to be a part of it.
I don't think I've ever gone into a spring. Spring training's weird. I love baseball. I love watching spring training. But by like the 5th or 6th inning, when the starters are out, it can kind of get a little weird, right? And you kind of move on with your day, right? I don't think I'm going to be more locked in.
For a 7th, 8th, 9th inning.
Just for every game that the Diamondbacks play, because I need reports on every single pitcher. Like, I need to know
exactly how everybody's doing.
I need to know how Jonathan Loaisiga looked today. I need to know how good Kevin Ginkel looked on the backfields. Like, this is a message for any of the beat reporters who may listen to this. I need daily updates on every single pitcher that could potentially have a spot in this bullpen, because every spot is wide open.
Every
spot is available. I don't think anybody should have a leg up in the closer's race. We're calling it the trust triangle. Who pitches the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th? It should be wide open. Now, would I like it to be some of the young arms? Would I like to see Cade Shroud get a chance to win one of these jobs? Would I like to see Dre Jameson, a full, healthy year of him? He's got some gas. Would I like to see Juan Murillo get a chance? Yeah. Would I like to see Brandon Garcia get a chance? I'm even intrigued to Jonathan Loaisiga. Maybe this is me just with a lot of cope. But if Loaisiga's healthy, it feels like it could solve some of these issues.
Certainly.
Like a healthy Jonathan Loaisiga. Just to tell you what he's been in the past. I'm going to remove his year with the Yankees last year. 3.06 ERA in 2023. Missed 2024, came back last year, pitched in 30 games, had a 4.25 ERA, but was coming off of a major injury. He had a 2.17 ERA in 2021. He's projected to have a 3.61 ERA this year. If he's healthy, this could be one of the members of the trust triangle.
Probably will be.
If he can stay healthy and he shows off the electric stuff that he has, he could be part of the trust triangle.
Because here's the other question, too. Does the trust triangle happen no matter what? Or do you need to earn your way? Like, is the trust triangle just our 3 best relievers? Or is it guys that you would say, I trust in the grand scheme of the league? Because our trust triangle may be worse than most others.
I think ideally, this is how I would manage. I would need to pick 3 names that I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, I need to have those defined roles. I think it's important for the pitchers. And we did this.
We've done this.
We did this last spring, right? With the whole Torrey talking about closer by committee approach and how I hated that. How these guys need to roll up to the ballpark. They need to show up knowing what their expected role is every single night. And so even if it's a trust triangle that you don't have a ton of trust in, you got to have defined roles. You got to have, this is my closer. Kevin Ginkel's my closer. Jonathan Loaisiga is my closer. Cade Shroud is my 8th inning guy. Ryan Thompson's my 7th inning guy. Like, you have to have these extremely defined roles, because I think when you have so much uncertainty, the thing that's going to help you stabilize that room is roles and a very defined approach of how you're going to deploy these guys night in and night out. So every single one of these spring games, vitally important. Not the result, just how these guys look. Because there's so many open spots.
So many open spots. There are open spots all over the place. And like I said a few segments ago, if you're a young arm, aren't you thinking, hey, I can make this roster?
Oh, if
you're a guy in AAA, I need a good spring, I can make this roster.
If you're any of these non-roster invites to camp, right? If you're Landon Sims, if you're trying to look at some of the younger pitchers, if you're Alfred Murillo, 24 years old, if you're Hayden Dirk, who's a non-roster invite, and you're 24 years old, if you're Philip Abner, if you're Juan Murillo, if you're Juan Burgos, you're any of those guys that are, under 27, this is it. This is your chance.
This is your chance.
You can make this team. And you can help turn this around. You can help this become a strength. Because I think there's some young arms with potential. Like, I think Burgos has potential. I think Murillo could be a future closer. I think Abner looked good in the second half of last year. Like, there are guys that are decent options. You just don't have full confidence in them because you don't have enough of a sample size.
Correct.
So we'll see. The season's not already over. No need to panic, but they do have – sometimes you look at a team on paper and you're like, oh, I don't know if I really see the weakness. The weakness for the Diamondbacks clear as day. Right now, as we start spring, the biggest spring training storyline. What does this bullpen look like? Not who closes, not who the setup guy is, everything. Who actually makes up this bullpen? That is the burning storyline this offseason, this spring training for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us. You can also join us via the free KDUS AM 1060 app, where you have a chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, we wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Lunch Break. We've got all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers, and we get to them next. It's the Lunch Break, KDUS AM 1060.
Should have been on the All-Star team instead of LeBron. Now, I hope it's LeBron's last year if they're going to give him this spot. But the Clippers are hosting the All-Star game without any All-Stars. And Kawhi, who's played more games than LeBron this year and has better numbers this year, should have been named to the All-Star team.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. Let's be honest, nobody keeps New Year's resolutions. Gym memberships don't get used and diets fail. If you lost your firearm rights because of past convictions, here's a resolution you can keep. You've thought about this for years. Make it happen in 2026. You make the decision, Restore My Civil Rights does the work. This resolution will change your life. To book a free consultation today, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
Sometimes the great ones just keep getting greater. 7-time Grammy winner Gladys Knight has rolled out hit after hit over her illustrious career. Don't miss Gladys Knight Saturday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. Brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Been crazy busy these days? Sounds like you could use a little we time. That means playtime at the AAA 4-Diamond Wekopa Casino Resort. Game time with more than 900 slots plus table games. Maybe a tea time on one of 2 nationally ranked courses. And definitely some hang time at WKP Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the state. Wekopa Casino Resort. It's we time.
ASU women's basketball continues right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Ladies Sun Devils as Big 12 conference play continues with a matchup against Utah. Head coach Malik is more than ready to defend home court and win over the Utes. Join Jeff Munn on the call live this Wednesday evening. It's ASU versus Utah. Pregame at 6 p.m. and tip-off at 6:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
As As we get ready to close things up here on the Tuesday edition of the Lunch Break, what do we have in today's version of the Leftovers, producer Evan?
I mean, what don't we have? No, I actually want to start with kind of a funny story. Not funny. I don't know how to. I just think it's interesting. Did you see the Rangers, what they're giving away to season ticket holders?
No, should I look this up?
It's a lottery.
So I should look this up on social media. This being the Texas Rangers, yes?
Yes.
So I should look up the Texas Rangers.
And I'll just announce.
Texas Rangers on social media.
Oh, no. Sorry. They are giving this away as like a giveaway.
This can't be true. No, this is true. I see it from their official account.
Yeah.
They are giving away a Nolan Ryan bloody lip jersey on May 29th.
Yeah. We got to go.
Recreating the uniform from his 1990, the comebacker that hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, I love when promotions departments get creative like this. And
I think it's awesome.
This is creative.
Okay, some baseball stories today. We did the NFL news dump, so mostly baseball here in the Leftovers. We'll start with the Braves. The Braves put Spencer Schwellenbach, their pitcher, on the 60-day IL due to an elbow injury.
Yeah, they think he's got some bone spur issues in that elbow. And so the 60-day IL, he's placed on it, but the clock doesn't run on that until the beginning of the year, so he's going to miss the first 2 months of the season. So the earliest that he'll be back is, May, middle of May, early June.
Yep. Phillies are actively looking again to move Nick Castellanos for the start of the season. They'll eat most of the contract. I would do it.
I'm surprised they haven't done it already.
If I'm the D-backs and they eat most of the contract.
To do what? To do what? To play where? To do what?
I left field.
We are putting a premium this offseason on being better defensively. And you're going to get Nick Castellanos to go play left field? No, thank you.
You're going to need 700 runs.
And that's another. So we already know that we've got Carlos Santana, who's not going to give you a ton with the bat. Nolan Arenado didn't have a great year with the bat. You just want to add a third bat to the everyday lineup that it's not going to hit?
They have not made a move that will impact the team. Aren't you just looking to throw more darts at the dartboard?
No, this dart I'm not interested in throwing.
And you can get them for like $20.
What is it? What is the scene in Moneyball where he asked the other GM to pay for the soda in the machine?
Yeah.
That's what
the Phillies are asking for.
Yeah.
Soda in the machine. I'm telling you, you can get them for like $40.
They have to cut him first. I'm not trading anything for him.
No, you trade cash.
The old cash considerations.
Yeah. Tigers signed Justin Verlander to
cool
a 1 year, $13 million contract. What a very cool story.
What a cool story. Their rotation right now is Justin Verlander, Tarek Skubal, Framber Valdez. And they still have Jack Flaherty, right?
Correct.
It's not bad. It's not a bad rotation.
That is not a bad rotation.
They are going for it here in 2026.
Braves added.
And Casey Mize. It's a pretty good rotation.
And I shout out to the Tigers because guess what? The two moves they have made, if it doesn't go well and they win in on this year, they can either trade Framber or they'll have trade Skubal and they'll have Framber for next year. Or you've given yourself the option to go all in and still lose Skubal, but have Framber and Verlander on a 1 year. If things go bad, you can move them.
Yeah, they have a ton of if things go south.
Yeah,
they have a ton of great trade bait. They've got Gleyber Torres, they've got Jack Flaherty, they've got Justin Verlander who were expiring deals. They obviously have Tarek Skubal. They have Kenley Jansen and Drew Anderson who have club options. Like they've got some guys that if things go south and some of those guys are playing well, they can move them for something at the deadline.
Another 1 year deal. Pirates signed Marcell Ozuna, the DH, to a 1 year, $12 million deal.
Yeah, it was either going to be this or bringing back Andrew McCutchen, and they're clearly not going to do that now. So
another guy, to play left for the D-backs.
I don't know if McCutchen could still play the outfield at this stage of his career. Now I'm going to go down the rabbit hole. You know exactly where I'm going to. I got to see what his metrics are.
You got it. How good was he defensively?
Yeah, I mean, because this is what this. Just so you know, what is happening right now on the air is exactly what happens pre-show. Like, we'll be talking about something, and then you'll mention a player, and I've got to see. He didn't qualify for defense in 25. He didn't play. 24, he didn't qualify, but wasn't very good. When's the last year that he qualified for any of these defensive metrics? 22, 21? 21, and he wasn't very good.
I thought he was great in 21.
No.
Bat's still there.
Is it, though? He had 239 last year. 700
Oh,
OPS.
look at you. Now you care about batting average.
No, he had a 700 OPS.
Now he cares about batting average,
He had a
everybody.
700 OPS, and he hit only 13 home runs.
What do you mean? He had an ex-WOBA of 333 in the 66%.
Yeah, I mean,
those are your favorite stats.
He doesn't hit the ball hard. He strikes out. He does draw walks. He doesn't chase. He's got good command of the zone, but he strikes out too much. Doesn't hit the ball hard. Doesn't play defense. No.
He still had 13 homers last year.
Right, but he's 39.
I think this is a huge addition if the D-backs.
If the Diamondbacks are going to spend
you can get another guy you can get for like $40.
If you're going to spend any money this offseason the rest of the way, could we add a reliever to the bullpen?
I'm giving you all these options for offense.
And I don't want any of them if it means they can't sign a reliever.
All of these players are going to produce more than Alec Thomas. Like, Alec Thomas may have been the worst. In fairness, Nick Castellanos was the worst.
Ryan Waldschmidt's going to be the center fielder before the middle of this.
If you're going to play 80 games out there,
no,
with Alec Thomas,
Alec Thomas will start.
If it's more than 10, you've lost the season.
He'll start under 45 games in center field.
The season's over.
He will not. Ryan Waldschmidt will get most of the starts in center field, I think. Unless Jordan Lawler's playing center field.
It's true. David Stearns hit the podium today. Francisco Lindor may not be ready for opening day. May need surgery. And Juan Soto is going to make the move from right field to left field.
There's nothing better than when teams show up to camp and we hear from people for the first time.
I just feel like if you can't play right field at Citi Field, you cannot play left field.
I mean, he didn't play right field that terribly, and I think he'll be fine in left. But I just find it interesting that, like, all offseason, nobody talked about this, and teams show up to camp, and then they just announce things that you just weren't on your radar, and, like, you're like, oh, okay, he's going to play left field. Oh, that guy's got an injury. Like, Spencer Schwellenbach got put on the 60-day IL. That was not in
Nobody saw that coming.
It's crazy how just the first day of camp, things just happen. And with Lindor, like, they've got Bo Bichette and Marcus Semien who can play shortstop, so they could kind of move some pieces around.
No, they have pieces in the infield. Who's going to play third? Bichette?
Well, Bichette would play third if everybody was healthy. But
it'll be Bichette at third, Lindor at short.
If Lindor's going to miss significant time, I wonder if you put Bichette.
Wait, who's starting at first now?
Jorge Polanco.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Jorge Polanco's.
That's a good addition. I like Jorge Polanco.
I'm excited about it. It's going to do it for us here on the Tuesday edition of the program. Jim Rome, he is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.